answering the question of where we left off last time. You guys had successfully managed to kill the witch. She lays shriveled at Koya's feet. And in the instance that she died, your friend, Koya, seemed to come to their senses for a moment and kind of look in your direction and smile, but then as soon as they saw Keeper, they started trying to attack them, but faded away before they were able to do so.
Question, did we all see that? Or just Koya?
Anybody that was looking at the giant Oni ghost would have seen that.
Okay, give straight up, Booker was not. Booker was looking at the woman.
Yeah, well, Button was, because Button tried to hit the mist as it disappeared.
That is where we are picking up. See, Keeper kind of had shrunk away from the threat of the strike, and arms raised as if to block the hit that was incoming. But now that it's the Oni is gone, see his arms slowly lower, and he looks around, and again his teeth kind of bare in that you're not sure if it's a grimace or a smile. There's not enough flesh to figure it out.
What happened to which body? Is which body still there?
Yes, it's like a shriveled husk in front of you.
Is Booker gonna try and eat the body?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck? No.
He's be fair,
gonna.
We have made the general agreement of we don't harvest humanoids.
Okay.
Humanoids.
Yeah, that fair.
He's not gonna do that. He's gonna stand up and like quick assessment of Trixie and Koya. And he is gonna hold a fist up in the air and be like, and he'll hold a fist up in the air, and then like in a big windmill gesture, he will swing his fist all the way up and around, and then drop the middle finger at the corpse of the witch. Be like, get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. Gives her a swift kick in the side. Like, we fucking did it. He's gonna give Koya a real hard pat on the shoulder. Not like aggressively, like cheer pat.
Fresh off of a football game, kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
Holy fuck, we did.
During this moment, Koya is seething. I think the moment their friend disappears, Tamaru disappears, they're scrambling to their feet and looking between that spot where he disappeared and a Keeper. And really just ignoring Booker in this moment.
Keeper takes notice of your eye line, but doesn't say anything to you, just kind of steps out from where he had hidden behind a wall. Hidden behind a column, I should say. Straightening out the shreds of his robe. Will dust a piece of rock off the top of Button's hat as he passes.
You okay, Koya? Kind of looking between Booker and Koya.
Booker, who was not looking at Koya at all, like looking at the corpse and then looking over to Trixie and was going over to Trixie to like offer a hand, stops and then looks over to Koya.
And with you both, like at the back of Koya, I reckon you might see just like a shimmer, maybe some, just a spectral image of multiple hands like crawling down their back. Nothing physical. It almost seems not real. But Koya does not answer Trixie. Instead, to Keeper, I want to know where your goals lie right now, in this moment. The witch is dead, and very obviously you did something to Tamaru.
And Keeper kind of tilts their head in your direction as you start to talk. You see the glowing eyes turn towards you for just a moment before it flickers down to the corpse just past you. Goals. Celebrate my newfound freedom. Take what little pleasure I can in disposing of that wench.
She actually hit us with an offensive spell, didn't she?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, if I remember correctly, Booker would not have seen her casting it. He would have just been hit by an offensive spell.
I do not recall.
I vaguely recall where Booker was standing. It's just a matter of I don't think he would have been in the fight aware of it. Because he was kind of facing this way, like to the south corner there for most of the fight. But he's not fully keyed into like the situation. But I imagine he can read a little bit of tension in the air. Booker will step over this necromancer lady and then look towards Button, or look in Button's direction. She'll be like, "Oi, what was your deal right after we free her and she helps us, and then what?"
Well, tap, tap. Reporting button. I'm sorry, my brain is really foggy today. Z, if I remember correctly, it was we free Keeper. They help us defeat the witch, and they won't harm us, right?
There was
And I
no
believe that was it.
future. It was essentially
Yeah.
revenge and
Truce.
general truce.
Yeah. Okay. Button blinks. They pull out a little notebook. And they hand it to Booker. 3 bullet points. They wrote it down, because of course they did.
Booker reads he reads them to himself, just silently. And there is like a slight twitch of the eye, an understanding. Not mad, but now he is very concerned with this person standing over there. Given what Koya just said, Booker is going to whip around on her body. Did we already deal with the loot situation on her?
No.
Nope.
There's not been any looting done.
Is there like an icon of some kind of like a religious icon or a symbol on her, or something that's very apparent?
Yes. You do see that she does have some sort of medallion that's hanging around her neck.
Booker's going to grab that. I assume it's probably magic, but at the very least, he's going to grab it.
Well, if you can roll me an investigation if you'd like to properly loot, if you're not trying to just like what is obvious on her.
I would like to properly loot, but there's the specific thing that that Booker would remember is that Keeper had some weird beef with how this person worshipped someone. So Booker was looking for an icon because he's like, okay, hold on, this might be something that Keeper wants. But I would like, if I can loot, to try and loot.
Unless somebody stops you, because I mean, Keeper is keeping an eye on Koya, but Keeper is also not, as the moment, seeming to be moving in any sort of aggressive way. He truly seems to just be like, ah, yes, the bitch is dead.
Ding dong.
I want to use a point from the mark that Booker's amulet is to roll this check at advantage if I can.
Yep.
For investigation.
Yep. Advantage on investigation.
Ugh. That's really bad. That is an 11.
With advantage, what'd you roll?
5 and 3.
Ooh.
Damn.
I mean, 10 is average. It's above average.
So in investigating with an 11, you find the amulet that you're able to grab pretty easily. You find a potion bottle that has some sort of liquid in it. You're not sure what it is. And then you find what looks to be a spellbook of some sort.
He's going fast because he's trying to, with the tension in the room, he's trying to find the worthwhile things immediately, because anything that he gets off of this unconscious or this dead necromancer is something that Keeper doesn't have. Because the deal's off. This is fucking, we are in uncharted waters right now, so leverage is important. He scrambles, grabs the potion, the book, the amulet. And he'll whip back around and then look at Koya and look at Keeper. Kind of eyes dart between the two. Don't have... I need to look for my cantrips for a second here. Nope. Damn it. I want to whisper something to Koya, but I don't want Keeper to run the risk of hearing it.
I mean, you could always just send the little robot to go distract Keeper with conversation and questions. This goddamn button is full of questions. If you want to increase chances of not being overheard.
Okay.
Hmm?
Booker looks to Button. Like he wants to say something, and then doesn't have any sort of ability to guaranteed send a message. Like, he doesn't have literally the cantrip message, which would be dynamite right now. So he just looks at Button. And I don't know if Button can get nonverbal cues. So Booker is just going to say to Button, why don't you go shut up, Keeper there? He's just going to say it very quietly, as quietly as he can.
Button just stares at Booker. I imagine they were just watching the searching process. They just look. There's a nod. Button turns on their heel, pulling out another notebook. Why do they have so many? Where do they get them? The world may never know. But they march right up to fucking Keeper, which, yes, I should go talk to Keeper. I have many questions now that time is no longer an issue.
Micken creeping around the corner here. Booker sees him. And then he's going to make eye contact with Micken, like do the finger point, and he's going to pantomime throwing the book. And Booker will frisbee the book towards him.
You see him a little confused because his entire purpose was like, I don't want to walk by the strange, creepy warlock undead dude. And so he just comes around the corner and immediately, like, there's a book being tossed his direction. He catches it. You see him actually use just a little gust of wind to bounce and right it so that it doesn't land in his hands and bend anything. And he looks at it, and when he realizes what it is, it goes from, like, holding the book normally to kind of, like, holding the book with, like, the tips of his fingers. Like, ew. But he doesn't, like, throw it away, and just gives a little nod in your direction.
Study up. Booker will nod, give him, like, flash him a quick smile, and then turn back to Koya, and gonna try to whisper to Koya, like, very kind of hurried. All right, you know this guy? What's your deal? Thumbs up. Tell me what's up.
Before Tomorrow died, whatever happened, they made a move towards Keeper, and I want to know why.
Booker has to, like, you see the processing speed kind of hit him, where he's like, tomorrow? Who the fuck's tomorrow? Oh, wait. And then he thinks back to, like, the big guy.
He's a reason why everyone I've found is in their most basic form. I want to know who else is here. I want to know why we were stopped when we were stopped, and where everyone left.
Booker nods. He looks up at Koya and will say, you want to do the questioning? You want it to be private? Or you want the whole crew behind you?
I'm not about to break whatever agreement Button had with... Do we know Keeper's name?
Nope. All I've told you is that you can call him Keeper.
Okay. With whatever that thing is. Seemed to me
Well,
like they were working with this... the witch, sorry.
No, you're good. Booker, like, kind of, it's like a half shrug. He just kind of shrugs and rolls his head and just goes, well, the bright side is that I think deal's just about done. Run its course, as it were. So we're about to start running into open waters with this fella. I don't like the look of them, to be honest. We'd rather keep our wits about us. We outnumber them, but I'm not sure how much more we can take after that. And he, like, nods his head to the necromancer behind him.
While you're having this conversation. Koya, Booker, Trixie, roll me perception checks.
Now, can I use my passive perception?
What'd you roll initially?
I rolled a grand total of 7. Oh, Koya.
Ah,
Damn.
Trixie's got it. Don't
Trixie's
worry.
got it.
Thank God somebody had it.
Has,
Having multiple eyes has its advantages.
so is, I'm imagining Trixie's just standing there kind of listening to this, right?
Yeah, she kind of has her arms crossed and is just like listening, like, okay.
So as you're listening and kind of looking around, I imagine kind of glancing towards Mick and seeing him try to very delicately see what's in the book while touching the book as little as possible.
Mhm.
And Button talking to Keeper, who Keeper seems to be humoring Button at the very least for the moment.
Mm.
And you kind of look around the room, take in this space that you've not really been able to look at with any intensity yet. You notice again that pulsing span of magic from the altar off to the side wall is still there. It's still pulsing, but the pulse is growing slower and slower, and seeming to fade with each pulse.
The altar's fading?
No, the blue line you see in the bottom corner. Think of it like a
Oh,
magic tube.
okay. I wasn't zoomed out enough, my bad. Hey, guys. Trixie will send to her friends with her little telepathic thing. Notice that down there?
Do we?
I mean, if she motions in the appropriate direction, yeah. It is
Filter head.
magic that all of you were able to catch a glimpse of when you first opened the door before you started attacking.
And you said it looks like just a force field?
No, like a line of magic.
Like just kind of like a string? Or...
The worms in the DLC, imagine without a face stretching between the altar and the wall.
Gotcha.
Just...
Oh. Day less.
Booker just sees it. What?
Investigate.
Does Booker still have the detect magic thing? Detect magic somehow?
He does. Let me see if I have. I do have a use of it. He does have his spell sight, which I would like to use.
It is just raw, unfiltered magic, but not wild magic. More life magic.
Hmm.
That is tethering the altar and something else. You don't know what else. come over here towards the witch.
If they try to like touch the witch, Koya will move the glaive, just separating the two.
Yeah, I think Trixie has an instinct to get in the way too.
That's the first time you see Keeper kind of go from that grimace smile to what you're pretty sure is a frown.
You answered one question, but you dodged the other.
And which was that?
What did you do to Tomorrow?
Me?
Why did he move to attack you?
Who exactly is Tomorrow? Not one of you. He looks around the group. And then back to you, Koya.
I'm in no mood to play games.
Who said there was a game being played?
Koya will lift the glaive.
Just like stop blocking him, or
No, just like inching closer to him.
Look, it's just like asking what happened to his friend. You know, the big thing, big person up there, kind of disappeared.
He looks over his shoulder to like where I imagine Trixie kind of gestured.
Yeah.
Shakes his head. I'd wager that was just a spirit summoned by this witch. Weak magic.
Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, insight check.
Sure.
Is this blue line of magic? Can Booker tell if it's like a power? Can he divine the purpose of this blue line?
You can roll Arcana.
Can I assist?
Sure. Roll at advantage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there.
As near as you can tell, Koya and Trixie, he seems to be telling the truth. The way, the sheer disdain and dismissiveness that he's like weak magic. It's like, oh, he really truly believes whatever she did was not fucking impressive.
There's a modified 20 to divine the purpose of this fucking thing.
Diet 20!
Diet 20. As you're kind of studying this, you are able to parse the magic is flowing from out of the room to the altar. Hi, Hazel. Hazel baby.
Sorry, repeat that. It's coming from outside of the room and into the altar?
Yes. So like I said, it's seeming to flow weaker and weaker, essentially.
Ah, man.
It's not
Is
going to blow
there-
up, is it?
I kinda want to dispel magic on it.
Booker just wants to assess if it's volatile so that he can come back to it in a moment, because he just wants to make sure that nothing is popping off, because then he'll go back to dealing with Keeper.
Does it? I mean, it seems to be relatively stable, aside from it just growing weaker. It's not like it's like
Okay.
sparking all over the place or anything like that.
Okay.
Door. Oh shit.
Booker will point to Button and then point to the blue thing and just be like, if you're going to mess with it, do it careful. And then he's going to start backing up and going back to flank Keeper here.
But
Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was just say, Button was given permission to fuck with it. Oh boy. Right. You know my plan, just let me know when I can do it.
Mhm.
Button is completely oblivious to the tension of the rest of the party, by the way.
Charlie, it sounded like you were doing something.
As Booker is approaching, he'll catch Koya, narrow their eyes at Keeper, and then drop the glaive.
Like, attack?
No, just like
Safety turned on.
Yeah. Engage the safety. Like put the glaive on the ground rather than like raised, lifted to attack.
more like giving up on pressing Keeper for anything else.
Oh.
So if he is no longer being blocked and threatened physically.
At least by Koya.
He seemed to be a little more cautious of Koya than Trixie, because Koya was the one pointing a blade at him. See one of those long arms snake out in between the two of you towards the corpse. If he is not physically stopped, those fingers just wrap around the throat of this husk of a woman and lift her into the air, and you can already hear the cracking and straining as he starts to squeeze.
Booker will put a hand on him. Onto Keeper. Like put a hand on Keeper's shoulder and be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
There's just a tilt of the head. What? Did you have other plans?
Booker looks up at the corpse and then looks back at Keeper and just goes, look, I get taking out your frustrations on the dead, especially when they deserve it. But this, whatever the fuck you're doing, seems a bit much, doesn't it?
And he just looks over at you. You hear just an odd noise as his head kind of whips around. And then there is a crack, and the head pops off the body. And that grimace smile is back. She is a fool. Was a fool. She deserves whatever happens.
Booker will give like give a little look from toes to from tip to tail, like give a good up down to Keeper. What's next for you? What does next entail for you? Now that our deal's done.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're not after the power of this place like she was.
If that's a question posed to Booker, he's not going to verbally answer. He will simply tilt his head a little bit, hoping to get him to just continue talking.
And still holding the head has fallen to the ground. Still holding the body of this husk. He kind of turns a little bit more towards you, lifting it up and over Trixie's head as he turns. And to the other side. And he kind of lowers himself a little bit, so he is more on eye level with Booker. You see a little tilt of the head and a creak of bone and sinew underneath. If you seek the power of this place, then we will have a disagreement. If you do not, and he just lifts the body and throws it full force against the far wall. And it crumbles, not to ash, but pieces. Then you can leave now.
Not really interested in power that comes at a cost. I prefer my power free. His eyes are going to dart to the altar, though. Does the altar look different?
It is still coursing with some sort of magic. And with a little bit of the detect magic still there, you would know it's primarily necromancy. It's not crumbling, it doesn't look different necessarily than when you first came in and the witch was standing there. He straightens and turns. Now his back is fully to Trixie, as he's seeming to deal with Booker and Koya. Looks to Koya. If you were so concerned about that spirit, I'd advise you search elsewhere. There has to be a body to pull a spirit from.
Koya will look from Keeper to Booker and down to the head. And she'll pick up the head. Boss, I'm ready to leave whenever you are. Just join Micken.
The girl look up at Keeper. How do we leave? She pulled us in here.
If you wish to leave, I will send the portal back out. Just return to the center.
He narrows his eyes. And you'll stay here? Forevermore? Is that your plan?
He just kind of gestures around. This is my master. You don't know what true faith is. Otherwise, you wouldn't ask such simple questions.
Booker will look around. Right. Guess we'll be leaving then. Take a step back. And look over to Trixie.
I feel like Trixie in the background was making the, like, do we fight kind of motions. Because, I don't know, this guy's pretty sus.
It's pretty sus, but
We're very injured.
we're very injured, and I don't know. I'm not sure how strong they are.
Let you
And-
stew. Well, go ahead.
Well, and he didn't say he wasn't after the power, just that if we were after it too, there'd be a problem. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let you y'all stew on that for a second. Amy,
Hello.
Button getting up to some fuck shit.
A little. And I had if everyone is okay with that, the fuck shit would be dispel magic on the magic.
Is your last third level?
Nope. I have 2 third level spell slots left. I'd like to use one of them for dispel magic.
Okay. Let me double check this.
The intention here, Z, is to... So the magic is moving outside of the room into the altar. It's essentially to stop the siphoning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever this is, stop it.
Give me a spellcasting ability roll.
Okie doke. Now that's just with my modifier, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Oh boy, come on, come on. That is going to be a good roll. Good roll. 23.
23.
Almost a nat 20.
Almost. An 18.
So you cast Dispel Magic. Your magic reaches out and touches this essentially strand of pure magic. There's nothing encasing it. There's nothing to block the spell itself. And you're surprised by immediately feeling a connection through the magic for just a brief second. And suddenly images just flash before your eyes of thick, dense jungle and trees larger than you have ever seen before. And then it's gone. And the beam of magic seems to fray and disappear.
Button writes this down. And then turns to look at the rest of the room, which is engaging in a cold war at the moment. Tap, tap.
Yeah.
Oh. The world shifted slightly.
There we go.
It's like, hello. I have done something.
Slow head turn.
Lean around people.
That's probably something very concerning to hear from Button now that I think about it. So the magic is gone, right? The line?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. the magic there is now gone. I have gotten rid of it. However, I did see trees, very, very large ones, for a second. This may be tree magic.
I love Button so much.
I would like to investigate further from where this was coming from.
Yeah, I'm right curious myself too.
There's a nod.
Booker's gonna go up to the altar here.
You start walking towards it, like you take a few steps, but you get about, hold on, let me adjust here before there's a quick, like, Keeper's hand shoots out and grabs your arm, like by the elbow.
What's the deal?
You
Trixie's arm will grab Keeper's.
are not meant to be here, let alone standing in the glory of the altar of this place.
Booker looks around and will just kind of gesture with a hand. Yeah, it looks real glorious to me.
And you see a flicker in the glowing lights that are Keeper's eyes. And aside from when he threw the witch against the far wall, which was a clear kind of sign of intimidation and frustration, though you're not sure whether it was towards you or just anger at this witch still. First time you see genuine malice starting to be directed towards you, Booker. I have played nice, and I have simply asked you to leave.
Booker will like stare, just meet the stare of Keeper, like beat for beat, and not breaking the stare. Booker's gonna reach under his belt. He's gonna pull off his greater healing potion. He's going to drink his greater healing potion.
What is happening?
Koya, you're over there with Micken. Micken looks up, and you hear just the smallest, oh shit. Don't go back over here.
Drinking a healing potion as a fucking...
Trixie will try and intervene. She did grab Keeper's hand.
She
Um,
grabbed his arm, but he's
Yeah.
still holding Booker's elbow.
Are you stopping Booker from drinking his potion aggressively?
No. Stopping
Okay.
Keeper from doing something, essentially like a hey, don't touch kind of thing.
I
You
heard
want
a
to throw
soda
hands?
can.
I'll throw hands.
I heard a soda can open, and that's what I imagine Booker aggressively drinking his potion sounded like. Oh, incredible.
Oh, look, pal, we don't want any trouble. We're just looking around, okay?
And that may seem all well and good to you. But do you expect a priest at a temple to just let you wander? He looks back to Booker. This is not your place. This is not any of your places.
Booker just narrows his eyes. Still trying to match that same energy in the stare. He'll look over to Button. You turned it off?
Button nods.
Booker nods once. And then looks back to Keeper. Hope that doesn't upset any of your plans.
There's little change.
Hmm. Well, Booker will break the stare. Straighten his coat a little bit. He still looks like shit. He'll look to the crew, respectively. Button on this side, the rest on the other. All right. Seems like we're done here. Unless any of y'all got any part in business you gotta take care of. And he looks over to Koya. We going to look for a body?
We're looking for a body.
He nods. And he'll look back to Keeper. One last bit of business on our way out. Gotta help the crew.
He stays in the exact same position until you relent and take a step away from the altar, and then he releases his arm and straightens up. And with, again, one long skeletal arm just gestures towards the doorways out of the room.
Booker will also look to Trixie to basically give Trixie like the non-verbal, it's okay, you can let go of Keeper to Q.
When he lets go of Booker, she'll let go of him.
Okay. Okay. Booker will walk past. Let's get the fuck out of here.
This door.
This door.
Okie doke.
New door.
New door.
This is, in fact, the first door that you all encountered.
First door.
First door. Before Button leaves the room, is Keeper just like staring at the altar now, or?
He's watching. He has moved closer to the altar,
Mm-hmm.
like directly in front of it, but he is watching all of you leave.
Button will turn, wave goodbye. Turn, continue walking.
You step through the doors, and they slide open just as easily as all the others did once they unlocked, then slide closed behind.
Booker will look back over to everyone. We all square? Everyone's still in one piece?
Nod.
Mostly.
Mostly.
He nods. And smiles. It's a little unnerving. And he'll look over at Koya and be like, let's find you a body. We haven't gone this way, correct?
Nope.
Oof.
Man, I really want to touch that altar.
Hmm. I think once we get further away and are safely out of earshot of that room, Button has a question. They raise their hand.
I don't think you have to raise your hand, Button.
Oh. I have a question.
Shoot.
Do you think that destroying the altar is how we destroy the entire structure?
DM, is that a thing I could make a roll for, or am I just left to my own ability to assess that?
You can make Arcana.
I'd like to try. No, I'll use another point from the Mark of Known and Unknown to give myself advantage on this one. Or again, a die at 20.
If that altar serves as a conduit or a centerpiece for the magic here, destroying it or severely fucking it up could potentially severely fuck up the magic that runs through this entire being, yes.
Would I be able to know if it would cause a cartoonishly drawn out, but just enough time, like collapse timer or shutdown timer?
Would depend on how what you did to it, because it is
Gotcha.
dealing with wild magic, so it's a little iffy as to how things would work.
Booker, in response to Button's question, he stops and thinks about it for a second. And you can tell he's thinking when he gets real still, and you can see his eyes kind of like darting left and right, just not really looking at anything. He's just kind of scanning around his thoughts, so to speak. He stops, does like a exhale. Probably. Can't say for sure. It would definitely disrupt something. Might not destroy the whole place, though.
Oh. So how do we destroy the entire structure?
Booker kind of shakes his head. Not sure on that one. Though that altar would be a pretty good place to start, I think.
Button nods. They pat their coat pockets. I do not have explosives.
Booker will turn to Button. You don't mean to try, do you?
Button looks at Booker. Head tilt. Yes. This has been my plan since the beginning. I was tasked with getting rid of this place and making sure that we are the last ones to come across it. I interpreted this as destroying it, though there may be other solutions.
Booker just inhales and exhales. At least you're honest.
Is this something I should not be honest about?
Nope, nope. I need to be honest as much as possible. Right, Trixie? Jabs Trixie in the back.
Yeah, like, honestly, I don't see what the problem is. We don't really want this thing around anyways, right?
The problem is what we're up against. And how we don't know what we're up against.
This is a problem.
Booker just gestures to himself. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm halfway to dead right now. Not feeling too hot neither. Suppose we could rest for a bit, but there's only so much resting we can do. And every bit we rest and recuperate, he gestures, they're going to rest and recuperate too.
Yeah, definitely the same on my end.
Booker will turn to Button. I know you want to try it. I know you want to do right by your deity or what have you. But don't do it alone.
Button does a full body sigh. Okay. I will not do it alone. I do have a follow-up question.
Toad doesn't count.
I no longer have a question.
He nods. Is that really the question?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was gonna be.
Oh my god.
This is proof that we've become a crew.
Button for filth. Oh man, that's perfect. But this is a dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
Booker-
have... Sorry, good?
Booker's not against the idea in principle, because he doesn't want. Yeah, it's like he does, because Booker's like, no, Button, you can't try this alone because you're gonna get fucking killed. And if you try it with all of us, we don't know if we're all gonna get fucking killed. But I definitely think your idea has merit here, because I like destroying things that I can't have unless I get them.
Gaslight, keep girl boss Booker. Yeah, it's a matter of how. It's a logistics thing.
Hold on, I need to read something to remind myself.
I was really hoping I would roll hotter on that 4d4.
What'd you roll?
I rolled.
Oh, I see.
7.
Oh, bro.
Ew.
That intimidation tactic and get a 7. Aggressively drinks potion. believe I am tapped out.
That's the thing, is like, I want to go
Yeah.
look for this body to help Koya, because we gotta at least do that.
Yeah, we're
But-
gonna do that for sure.
Like, we're so close to being completely tapped on everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is my favorite way to fight. I think that's more fun when fights are like resourceless.
I will give y'all a thing to think about here.
Oh?
Micken is standing at the back of the group, is kind of like listening to this, and you see him. He's tucked the book from the witch away, and you see him pull out a little, kind of almost glass orb-looking object that he picked up from the brain. And he's fidgeting with it, and you see him kind of bite his lip a little bit in consideration. I might have an idea. Completely theoretical, probably won't work at all. So it's probably very, very, very stupid to even think about it.
Spit it out. I want to hear the idea.
No idea is stupid.
This that I picked up in the brain up top. Other place yesterday. And he kind of holds it up. I was going to be trying to use it as a focus of sorts. Has some magic qualities that are interesting. In fact, very interesting and very old. If done correctly, he just kind of draws a line down the center of the orb with like one fingernail. A properly primed magical focus can be disturbed enough that the magic becomes unleashed.
Meaning?
Theoretically, he just kind of mimes explosion.
Hmm. Could we do it remote? Is there a way we could do that?
Remote? No, but ranged? Yes. Maybe. The thought, maybe, if it works, which again, not saying it will. I could prime this with the right spells and set it up to be kind of balanced on the magical knife's edge, so to speak. And all you have to do is destroy it to unleash the magic and, well, maybe hopefully run like hell.
Booker considers this. How big of a boom would this prospective potential boom be, DM?
From the
Booker
miming,
be able to guess?
well, from the miming, it was big. And for
Okay.
him saying that this is old magic that he sensed in this thing, it is likely a lot. Above table, Micken is offering his little power-up item.
Oh no!
Okay. So hear me out. Booker will look into his pack and will pull out a ruby. And this is one of the rubies that had necromantic energy inside it from the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be workable too? Think you could make this one pop?
Mikan just kind of blinks. Well, tuck the little orb away and hold out his hand for the ruby.
Hand it to him.
Let me look it over. Give me a few minutes. And he will kind of start running his processes on this ruby.
Okay.
Trying to figure out what's going on with it. So you got 30 minutes, essentially, for him to figure out shit.
Okay. Well,
I'm looking through my bullshit.
I would assume a druidic magic focus wouldn't cut the case here.
Just planning on throwing an entire like pile of magic foci into this room and hoping that it explodes big.
Yeah, like I bought an extra one for a button just in case they ever lost their hat. But while the Micken is calculating, probably continue.
Yeah, has Koya been patient listening to all of this, or has Koya like been like, I want, like chomping at the bit?
I imagine we've been walking and talking.
Walk over to this door down here.
Mm-hmm. Can't forget zombie friend who is joining us.
Booker will point at the zombie. That one also doesn't count.
Button just looks at the ground.
In this door, much like some of the other doors you've come across, you can see where it was once locked, but now there's just that line that runs from the ceiling to the floor. And the moment you reach out and touch, the door opens.
Boop.
And as the door slides open, you see far to the back of the room is a stone sarcophagus.
I'm fresh out of detect magics. Damn it. Booker's gonna tiptoe up. Oh, there's more. Never mind, this is just a dead end.
Yes.
Is it actually this big of a coffin?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Stone sarcophagus.
Or sarcophagus, yes. But if it's this big, Koya or Booker will look over to Koya. Is about the size you're looking for?
Yeah, if it's that big, Koya's tossing the head to Micken.
Tossing the what to Micken?
The witch's head.
He doesn't even try to grab that. He like what do we didn't know? Like he lands in his arms as he's like still studying this ruby and just like and it's like drops it.
Be careful with
It's
that.
fine.
Don't lose it.
The button will pick it up.
Scuttles away opposite direction of the head.
She has to repent.
Booker behind Koya's shoulder, so Koya can't see. Booker like looks to everyone else and just mouths the word "repent?" ?
Shrug.
Shrug.
And then we're gonna open. We're gonna attempt to open.
So it takes all of your strength to slide the stone lid off. And it grinds against the lower section of the sarcophagus before it finally kind of clatters off to the other side with the sound of breaking rock. And inside, you do see the pretty nice things work the way I need them to work. Body tomorrow laid out and secured down to the base of the sarcophagus. And there is no color to tomorrow. He seems to long ago have lost most of the mass that he had, kind of withering away, shut in the stone box. And you see just the barest, like, first you're pretty sure there is just a dead body. And you see just a very slight flicker of an eye as it looks towards you, barely opening.
Still restrained, right?
Yes.
Physical or magical?
Physical. At least
Okay.
now. Just thick stone and iron bands across his arms and legs.
I don't suppose a strength check would help at all.
If you're trying to break them, yeah.
Booker will gently
Need a
touch
hand?
Koya's arm. You, sure you don't want to try to just finesse these off? Maybe a little, and he'll gesture with his hands like thieves' tools. Oh, I don't even have thieves' tools. Never mind.
Ghost tools. Um.
So you make it a strength check?
Yeah, sorry.
Guidance.
With a D4.
With a D4 if guidance is being used.
Let's
Hey.
go!
Nice.
You reach in and wrap your fingers around one of the bands across Tamaru's arms. And you feel every muscle in your arm and back, torso strain as you yank, and it takes 1, 2, and you finally shift and get just the right leverage and pull, and rather than breaking the band itself, it seems to just kind of rip off of the stone where it was secured. And you're able to toss it aside. And you see both you and Booker as the two that are in front of the sarcophagus, that Tamaru's lips start to barely move, like he's trying to say something.
Ooh, could I lean in and listen? Sorry, I was yawning.
Yeah. So you lean over, you just hear very faint, what you imagine a throat and voice box that hasn't been used in a very long time. Anagole said I wasn't lost.
Booker will look to Koya. Does that name mean anything to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Anagole said I wasn't lost.
Please hold while I consult Obsidian.
Open the vault!
That does mean something to Koya. In that nice little book.
The curse book?
No.
Oh!
Oh, the nice
Yes.
book.
Yes. Miss God, please wait. I'm on my hands and knees, begging for a hint.
That's one of the gods.
Yes, yes, yes. Is this the mother? Question mark of Apalaki?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry, one more time. Could you repeat what he said?
Anagole said I wasn't lost. And you know that Kamaru was a devotee of Anagole.
You and the others. We still have you.
There's just a faint little smile. Seems to be taking far more energy than it should for even that small gesture. As you reach to pull and yank the next band off, he just slowly turns one hand over, like he's trying to grab for your arm, but he can't muster the strength to actually lift his arm and hand up properly.
And Koya will lean down and position themselves right underneath his arm and help him out.
As soon as you try to like pull him out, he just immediately makes this like noise of like agony. Shrinks away from you until you let him be.
I'm sorry. I should have studied more. I don't have anything that could help you feel better.
He shakes his head slightly. I don't think anybody does. But you did find me, which is more than I could hope. You see his eyes flicker towards you, Booker. And there's confusion before just a slight dawning recognition. I'm sorry I attacked you.
Holy shit, you remember that?
And everything else I was made to do.
Booker just kind of awkwardly looks left and right. No hard feelings, I guess. He looks over to Koya. Hey, look, I don't know how to help, but are we gonna try to get him out of here? Is that what you need?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat?
Booker just kind of awkwardly looks at Koya and he's like, hey, I don't know how to help, but you want to try to get him out of here, right? That's the plan?
Yeah. She'll look to tomorrow. Is there anyone else that might have been caught?
He shakes his head slightly, still just laying there. Not anymore. He grabs for your hand again.
She'll offer it.
And you feel his fingers, no strength in them, kind of wrap around your hand for a moment and then twist, and something cold and hard is pressed into your palm. As his hand falls away, you see that it is a stone carried by shamans from Modi, dedicated to whichever god or goddess they were most aligned with, and this one is Angole.
He'll arouse it, and she just holds her palm open. You're gonna need this. Hey,
He shakes his head just ever so slightly. Lady of the Lost needs somebody that can do the seeking for her.
hey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um. From what I know, we're the only ones left. Everyone else, even Mari, are seeds again. I can't do seeking. I'm just as lost as you are.
There's, again, just a faintest smile. Good thing about being lost. Nothing left but to be found.
I think it's hard about now that the others, especially Booger, will see tears streaming down Koya's face. She'll squeeze the stone and his hand. I'm so sorry we were late. I'm sorry for what she did to you. I'm sorry I wandered up there as long as I did, not knowing you were down here.
She didn't win. And she didn't take all from me. Nothing to be sorry about.
When the others are back, I'll give them their head. And I'll tell them of you, and when we find home again, if we find home again, I'll make sure the first temple to Anagon. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So.
It's a mix of that, and I'm actually crying. Anagolo, that you're right up there with her, being revered as you should. And it might not be Bodhi, but it'll be home.
And Tamaru just kind of smiles again. You'll find home. She'll guide you if you let her. And you see, like, the eyes kind of glance around one more time, looking at everybody that's peeking over and around Koya's shoulders. More seekers than I could have hoped for. There's just a little squeeze, and the eyes close.
Koya will bury her neck, or her head into just the crook of her arm, still holding onto his hand. And she'll offer up just a quiet little prayer for him.
Booker will take like a good step back from this just to like give it space.
Thank you all for coming as far as you did.
Mention it. Booker will gesture kind of limply with his hand. Was he family?
You're part of the crew now, Koya. We help each other. She kind of puts a hand on Koya's shoulder, trying to be reassuring. She'll also say a small prayer to Saloon.
Thank you, Trixie. The way things are on Bodhi, family's a bit different than what you might consider it, but yeah, we weren't close or anything. I don't know how long I've been here, but he's first thing of home that's living, and I don't know when I'll get that again.
Booker awkwardly shuffles in place, but he'll take a step forward and put a hand on Koya's shoulder. He's trying to be comforting, not really knowing how to do it too well, but trying nonetheless.
We'll help you find your way home, Koya. I'm sorry that I'm sorry.
Sorry that things had to turn out this way.
I think we're done here. There's nothing else here.
There's nothing else for it. Booker will look around to the rest of the crew. Are we feeling up for a fight?
Well, that's what we came here to do. And it's probably our only way out.
Well, Button, Boya, we're going to try to blow this place to high hell so that no one can ever come back here. Need you two in on it. Are you in on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Booker nods. Okay. Oh, Booker's going to drink the other health potion he has. Bottoms up. Drink him if you got him.
I believe Trixie has a couple.
If she doesn't, Micken has a greater one that he can sacrifice because he's still at full health.
Yeah, I don't think I drank any of the
Oof.
potions I was given. So,
No, you drink one, but it got replaced.
Hopefully those are good tears, Charlie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
it's 44 plus 4, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
were there any, like, I guess, funeral things like I wanted to do?
Burial rites, last rites.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely she would.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a body on the ship? And I'm not sure how you guys feel about that.
I mean, you're about to bring a head onto the ship, so.
Put in a backpack?
I'm fine with doing burial rites of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Think we could make it work.
The only thing is, like, moving this huge fucking body and getting it to the ship.
You guys still there?
Yes,
Yeah.
hello.
Can you hear us, Iris? Iris, no!
Oh my gosh, I keep DCing.
No.
Hi, Iris!
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. I
You have
heard
been
there'd
like
be a
crystal
body.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there'd be a body in that ship, and that was it.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Button lovingly pointed out that it was about to be just a head
God,
carried
did I
onto the
DC
ship as
again?
well.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Seems like I have.
Rip.
Truly.
Well, I heard the rip.
Internet's always good for cutting right back in when somebody's being sarcastic and sassy.
True.
Yup.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is against Koya bringing Tamaru for last rites, and I will say that you can determine whatever last rites you feel are appropriate for Koya's culture.
Okie dokie.
There's a fucking vampire on the ship. There's an undead that's walking. I'm sure people won't mind having an undead that's not having a dead that's, not moving.
Dead.
dead. Just vibing in the cargo, And also, did you want a short rest?
We could try. Use
I don't
up
have any
every last drop. I've got
Yeah.
3 hit dice left.
I've got no hit dice left, but I can get my wild shapes back, which
Yeah.
equal a few hit die.
I'd
Mhm.
also like to get my key back because
Mm-hmm.
I'm capped.
Okay.
Sounds
Mhm.
like somebody in the party needs to learn catnap eventually.
Catnap would be pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? A standard short rest for now is going to be. That's going to do wonders, truly.
Oh, it's not a druid spell. Micken.
Well, you know what? Add to the list of when he's able to learn it. This is what we want you to learn.
Hey, buddy. Alright.
You
40.
act like if Micken wouldn't use catnap himself when he's up all night reading. Like, come on.
He has a pretty decent sleep schedule, all things considered.
He's a wizard. He's
Bottoms
terminally always
I DC again today.
a
I can
mess.
hear you. Oh.
At least a little bit.
Yeah, the issue is not that we can hear her, it's the issue is she can't hear us, even though we hear everything she says.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that.
Hey.
Does somebody... Did you use your potion, Charlie, for Koya?
No, I gave it to Booker.
Take Micken's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, be good.
Yeah,
Koya has
Bottoms up.
ways of regenning.
take Micken's.
11.
Well, we're short resting.
Mm-hmm. Probably the starts of the burial rites here.
Oh, I have no dice. Never mind.
That's chunky 12.
That is all my hit dice.
Well, welcome to the club.
I'd say we have cookies, but we don't.
We don't.
They were all eaten.
We have some stale saltine
Hungry.
crackers, though.
That's why we need Fen.
Yeah.
Fen will have cookies.
All right. I've got 2 spell slots to my name.
Join the club.
Hey.
Does Micken have one of those things where he can get spell slots back?
He's already used it.
Yep. Yeah, there it
Okay.
is.
This is like our 3rd short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Does this require attunement? Z, do you mind if I cheese something?
What? What do you choose?
Because Wetton's weapon is vampiric level 2.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't mention attunement needed or anything like that. Could Button hand it to Koya and have Koya whack the zombie?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Thought I'd try.
Admirable attempt, but I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
It's one of those weird moments where the mechanics of the game allow you to try a thing, and it's just so very weirdly, specifically niche.
Mm-hmm.
But it typically works.
Yeah. Because Button's weapon, when they bonk someone, they heal 3 HP.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's how Button's able to survive for so long, just getting the shit beat out of them.
So,
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Who? What?
Charlie
Huh?
finally sent in Koya's token.
If Koya is refusing the potion, there is still a free Mikan potion up for grabs. If anybody needs it. And I'm going to apologize to Charlie because I wrote up Koya's, because that stone is Koya's artifact, their vestige. But I forgot to put the thing in obsidian. I wrote it in a Word doc on computer work.
Oh,
You're good.
rip.
So I will send it to you later. I do know, because everybody else's does this. I was going to leave it up to you which one you would prefer. It will give you either a +1 to Constitution or a +1 to Strength, even if you're already at 20. So you can choose which you would prefer and put an extra +1 into it.
Is that for me to choose now or later?
Probably now, if you're
Okay.
going into a fight.
Okay.
Because I think I let Button's thing apply over a short rest.
Wait. I have more spells I could cast then.
Yeah, you do.
Oh shit! Only one of them will be useful, but let's fucking go! Or maybe two.
So anything else you guys are doing as you're just kind of sitting there and sitting in the silence for a little bit?
Readying the body for transport.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's basically it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just double checking.
Oh, this might be good to cast on, like, Koya or Trixie. Okay.
I'm cutting in and out, so.
Would be best to call it here, then.
Yeah, we can do a catch-up, like, little fight at some point. Maybe if everybody is available next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
To just get the fight done and out of the way.
Okay.
Give Koya some time to breathe.
And then
Fuck you, keeper.
we will start in with the after the fight getting away, and then the meeting with Finn and Ori next session.
Hey.
So 2 weeks out, Cody. We need a Finn on the 8th.
Very excited to feed everyone.
I want to hear your best Senshi impression.
I've only watched the first 2